Hey, this is John from Alloy211. In today's video, we're going to be adapting a set of Pachmyr Smith & Wesson SWK and L frame grips to our Taurus Model 82 revolver. Now, because of the similarities between the letter frame Smith & Wesson revolvers and the Taurus Model 82, these grips actually fit quite well. With one small exception being the grip screw. The grip screw on the Pachmyr is located here towards the back, which hits the mainspring right here. Whereas you can see the original grip screw goes through in the crux of this little strut that the mainspring is attached to. Now, these grips actually fit this revolver well enough that you could probably run it without putting a grip screw in it, but I really think that you should probably have one in there just to keep it in place and keep it in place well. And I recently purchased these from Apex Gun Parts. They are used, but it's only $10, and that was another reason why I thought, well, for $10, if I screw them up by drilling a hole in them, I'm not really that upset. But I've always really liked these Pachmyr grips. Now, a little bit of that is probably nostalgia, because when I was a kid, the first revolver that I shot had a set of these on it, and ever since then, I've really liked them. So I thought, if for $10 I can get a set that fit my Taurus Model 82, then good enough. And you never know, you might be able to find some at a swap meet or something like that. You never know, just a used pair like this, cheap or set, and put them on your Taurus Model 82. First thing we're going to do is actually fit the Pachmyr grips to our revolver. Now that's pretty straightforward. You just fold the two clams open gently. You don't want to, pull it apart. And there are two pins down towards the bottom that fit into some holes, and then the top of the grip is flared to fit into the frame. There we go. As you can see, now the fit is not perfect, but it is very close enough that it's actually quite comfortable. And like I said, for $10, I'm really happy with it. And I don't know that these grips are actually any better than the original grips. Like I said, I just really like them myself. And now, in order to line up to drill our holes, I'm actually going to take the old grip panel and align it right here. Now, I'm going to actually put, you might think this is a strange way to hold this on here, but it is what I had on hand, and when I was kind of testing to see how I wanted to do this, this actually worked quite well. Now, whether it'll work quite well right now, when I'm actually going to do it and drill the holes, I don't know. But we'll see. The one thing I did like about using the hair ties, and you could use rubber bands too, is that it allowed a nice amount of movement to align the grip to the frame. Now let me see, I'm going to have to move this off camera so I can get it pretty well lined up here. Okay. Now we look pretty good there. We look pretty good there. I'm going to go ahead and put the bit in our drill. And I'm going to grab this block, just on the off chance that we don't want to put a hole in our nice cloth. There we go. Now I am just using a hand drill. You'd really probably be preferred to use a drill press or something of that nature, but I don't have a drill press. So let's go ahead and drill. Okay, we're back. The drilling took a little bit longer than what I thought, so I just went ahead and cut and did that off camera. And now that I've got the marking hole, or the pilot hole, which I can use the straight pin to go right through, I'm going to go ahead and use a bigger bit that's the size of our new screw we're going to use for a grip screw through. And I had to use a smaller bit so that I could fit it through the original grip screw hole without screwing anything up. So now I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera off while I do this, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, and now we're back. It's amazing how quickly things get done when you're watching a video. Now, in order to get this hole cleared out as much as it is, I had to ream it out with the drill bit a fair amount, just to make sure, just to pull that rubber out. I had to do the same thing on this side. So now what I'm going to do is use a larger flat bit to go ahead and just open up a recess for the screw head and the nut on this side. And again, we'll be back in a moment once I've completed this. Okay, and now we've returned after that. Now, I'm not going to say that this looks super nice or extremely clean, but given how quickly I just did this and the cost of the grips and everything, I'm really not unhappy with that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put our screw in, which is a very long screw I happen to find in my garage, because I want to try to keep everything on this revolver pretty cheap. And that's not because I want to be cheap, it's because it was a low cost revolver, and so I don't want to put a lot of money into it. There's our screw. It sticks out quite a ways on this side, which is fine. I will cut it off with the Dremel tool. I'm going to run our nut down, so that way I can get a good idea of how long to cut the screw off at. Maybe. Yeah, almost there. The one nice thing is, by using the drill bit that I did to, there we go, countersink for the grip screw and the nut, it was just about the exact right size for the nut to lock in there. Almost looks like it was made for it. Almost, not quite though. Pretty close, pretty close. Okay, now that I've gotten that in there pretty tight and where I think it should go, I'm going to go ahead and take this to my Dremel tool and cut it off. So again, we'll be back in just one moment to see our final product. Okay, and now we're back with the final product, and I have to say, although maybe it doesn't look the best, I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't look too bad, and I think for a set of $10 grips, it'll work out. Whoa, if I can get to focus. There we go. It'll work out quite well. Now, as you can see, I did cut the screw shallow, so that way it sits below the nut. We don't have to worry about any weird feeling there. But now, other than, don't mind the very dirty work area behind it, but I think overall this actually makes the gun look a little sharper. And like I said, I really like this grip. I really love the way it feels in my hand, but that also could just be nostalgia. So if you have a Taurus Model 82 revolver and you happen to find a set of these Pachmyr grips used or cheap, and they don't have the hole in the right place for the grip screw, don't fret. You can just add it in yourself with a couple drill bits, a screw, and if you get the right size screw, then you don't have to worry about cutting it off so much. Now, since I wanted to use whatever I had laying around, well, I just used that long screw. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that if you decide to do this project, it's helpful to you, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.